All right, hello, my friends out there on the internet. We are back. We're off stream today. I'm going to just jump right into this. We're taking a look at a game called H.E.R.O, Hero, I guess, if you will. But it had the acronym H.E.R.O, which I don't totally remember what that meant. I think it was something like Helicopter Emergency Rescue Operation or something like that. But obviously we're on the Atari 2600, although I actually personally did not play this game a lot on the Atari 2600 when I was younger. I actually remember this as a Commodore 64 game, but originally it was on the Atari 2600. This game has some really funky mechanics with the helicopter. I'll try to explain that in a little bit, playing as I go here. But I originally remember playing this on the Commodore 64 when I was younger. And yes, the graphics were quite a bit better on the Commodore 64. But originally, this was an Atari 2600 game and was programmed over at Activision by a programmer over there. This game, I remember playing on the 2600 by the time it made its way over to GameTap. I don't know how many of y'all remember GameTap, but that was the way that I was playing this game a little bit, I guess maybe like 20 years ago when I finally got into the 2600 version. Although I seem to recall a little bit playing this game when I was younger, like playing it at a friend's house or something like that. So, yeah, I have quite a few fond memories of this game. One of the earliest kind of platformer games that I can think of, actually, because, you know, you have the free movement, you can move around, you don't want to touch the lava, but you're exploring these caves, and you're trying to get to the folks that are at the end of the cave. That's the whole deal there. Wow, my muscle memories are really coming in handy. We'll see how far this actually takes me. But, yeah, those flashing red things, those are actually lava. It was a little better defined in the Commodore 64 version than it is here. You'll notice as I've been playing, if I hit those lanterns, it causes the entire screen to go dark. And when the screen goes dark, obviously it's harder to see what's going on. So I think I cross over here. You don't want to be too close to those dynamites when they explode. That's bad, because they can actually take you out. There is that friendly fire. And you'll notice it can... Oh. See, I took myself out with friendly fire. That's what I get for talking about it. But what I was about to say there is that it actually takes a minute for you to get moving when you press up. Because the button, remember the Atari 2600, it only had one button. So the button on the Atari 2600 actually fires the little laser beam, which is good for taking out enemies. And if you run out of dynamite, you can use it to take out walls. But obviously that's a last resort, because as you do that, you're going to slowly run out of power. I say as I use a lot... as I use a lot of power to take out that little grabby hand right there. But yeah, the physics in this game is really interesting. Since the button is what you use to fire the laser, you have to use... Oh, that's so tricky. You have to use the up arrow to actually control the copter, and it takes a minute from when you press the up arrow to actually kind of floating. And I was able to use it a little bit there by like running off a cliff and hold... Well, that's what I get for trying to show off and explain. But usually if you're kind of like running and you press up like as you're running, you'll actually get a little bit of floating going on that'll help you cross pits and, you know, get the things that need to be gotten. That's it. That's as far as I got on my first run, level 7. I was doing pretty well there for muscle memory right up until the end. But yeah, it's just about kind of getting used to those physics, because I haven't played this game probably since what I was talking about earlier, playing it on GameTap. So yeah, let's see if I can get a little... Maybe if I try to reminisce less and focus on gameplay more, I might get a little bit further. But yeah, to kind of give you a sense of like that kind of weird physics when using up. Here, I'll show you here when we start the new board. Okay, I'm gonna press up now. And see how it took a good second and a half before I actually started floating? That's the weird kind of physics you have to get used to in this game, and it gets really difficult later on when you're trying to like cross the lava and get over that, but also get off the boat in time before it crosses back over under some lava. That'll make sense if I actually get that far to get to those boards. But we'll see. We'll see. You can use the difficulty select to start on later boards if you want. Although I try to start from the beginning. But if we have difficulty, I'm not above using the difficulty switch to get a little further if I have to. Okay, there we go. Now, I think Retro Achievements considers beating this game getting through all 20 boards. And there's 20 boards in this game. I want to say I could get to the teens when I was younger, but I don't know if I've gotten past board like 13, to be quite honest. Without cheating, without skipping ahead, because you could skip ahead on the Commodore version too, which I'll have to play that later someday. Once I've reminisced on a lot of other games, I'll have to go back and do that one. But yeah, the lava makes me very nervous. You notice I'm very cautious around the lava, and that's what you have to do, because if you touch it, if you just get that one collision, it's over. Usually I find the better way to go is the one that's like looks like it's more difficult. You'll notice that time, I think I died there the first go round. I hugged the wall that time to really make sure it wouldn't get me that time. So I think already we're doing a little better with lives than we were the first time. See, sometimes those little spiders or whatever those are supposed to be, they kind of leave you no choice but to go a certain way. See, that time I'm floating up a little bit, just tapping the up button. There we go. There we go. Improvement. Improvement. We still have all our lives. All right. Here's where we got eliminated last time. Let's see if we can do better. I think we want to go this way. Yeah. Killing the lights becomes very interesting. I really love the, like, you know, considering the Atari 2600 was, you know, very early piece of technology, I think they did some really interesting things with this game, like how the, ooh, that was like pixel perfect there. How the transformation of the board when you hit the lights kind of changes everything. I just think that's really cool. And how the dynamite, when it explodes, it lights things up just for a hot minute. Okay, this time, all right, I knew that lava was coming. How about that? Much better, much better. All right. Let's see. I think they're in clumps of about 5 boards each. So let's see if we can get, or maybe it's 4 boards each. I say that because I think the difficulty switch is like 1, 5, 9. I think that's how it goes. I can't remember exactly though, to be honest. I peeked at the manual before starting streaming tonight to see if I could remember, and of course I already forgot. Oh, I think these get smaller and smaller. Okay, I think in another board they get smaller and smaller. Okay, this is going to be a tricky one. So it's like you have to kind of float up and drop down just enough. There you go. So you don't get swallowed by the lake of green, whatever that's supposed to represent. There we go. All right. Nice. All right, so I guess the achievement folks considered the boards in clumps of 4. All right. I always kind of press up as I go onto a new board there. This is what I was thinking earlier. How they see how it just barely moves. Okay, I think that means we go that way. Yep. Okay, we can't go the other way because of the spider. Let's go that way. Try to pick up some bonus points as we go. Oof. All right. Might not be perfect, though. I don't want to necessarily have to go back and get everything. Here we go. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. I imagine many a joysticks were ruined from just, like, shoving on the up arrow. There we go. Okay. Nice. So what I would consider an accomplishment on this game is if we could get to 75,000. Activision, and before there was retro achievements or PlayStation trophies or Xbox achievements or any of that. Ooh, look, they move faster now. I forgot about tapped one too many times to the right. They move faster now because we're on a later board. But anyway, if you get 75,000 and you were able to take a photo of that, that's when Activision would send you the patch for your jacket. So if you weren't already aware, I think a lot of you that are into retro games, dang, that was going to be a hard one to get through. I think a lot of you into retro games already know this, but Activision would actually send you a patch if you would send them a Polaroid or whatever of beating a certain score on their games. And for this game, it was 75,000. So if I could get 75,000 and get me a patch, I would be very happy. Okay, okay. So we're going to go this way. Oh, I tried to turn around to zap the mosquito or whatever that thing's supposed to be, and I ended up frying myself. Not good. We're regressing, but it's just because I don't know these boards as well. So the trick here, I think, is going to be to float down just a little. All right, well, now it's gone. That's the nice thing. Once you lose a life, you take whatever got you with you. All right, there's the raft. So you have to push up early. I should have said when. If I get a raft on another board, I'll say when. Ooh, we're running out low on power. I think we're almost there, though. Yep. Ooh, that was close. Oh, jeez. Okay. Yeah, those rafts are harder than they look, though, because you have to push up, like, in advance. And the timing is just one of those things where the more you play this game, the more you learn the timing on those sorts of things. So we have to kind of, like, fall and immediately hug the left wall. Yep, yep. Okay, you can't explode your way through those. So this tells me we have to... Oh, this is interesting because you have to kind of go up and around on this one. All right, I don't remember that. Yep, there we go. Fall down. Fall down again. Okay, so this is going to be a tricky one. Oh, we had to hit up at just the right time. These lava walls suck because you have to be able to fall right on the edge. All right. So far, so good. Here's the raft. Up. Oh, up right into a spider. But see that delay? But that was part of the charm of the older games. Delays and input lag, that was just a feature. Although I think with a game like this, it really does have to kind of be part of the mechanic. And you can sort of play along with it mentally because of the whole helicopter, you know, idea. Helicopter jetpack, it's not necessarily going to be an instantaneous thing. Maybe the technology's progressed a little bit here in 2024. I don't know. I've never flown a helicopter pack. If you have, let me know in the comments. How responsive are helicopter packs in 2024? Okay. See, that's the kind of like cool effect that you didn't see a lot of games. Dang. That was my last life too. That was the effect you didn't see a lot of games in the 80s really do. All right, let's try to do one more loop through with what we learned. Okay, and see if we can maybe cross that 75,000 point barrier. Now, Activision would consider this game beat at 1,000,000 points. You had to get 1,000,000 points, and they said that, and I've never seen this happen. I imagine someone out there on the internet's done it. I didn't think to look for that video before we started, but once you hit 1,000,000 points, it says the operation is over and the game's over. I'm thinking the game maybe didn't know or wasn't able to process the score that high, so probably it just stops when your score gets that high and says, congrats, you're too good at the video game. The end. Roll credits. Okay. Awesome. This really takes me back to an Activision era when, you know, obviously Pitfall was a huge game for Activision. You know, it was one of the top, and yes, that's the same Activision that exists today. It's just a very different company today than what we knew in the 80s. In the 80s, it was very programmer friendly. You know, you get a feature in the manual, and you didn't have to put your name in as an Easter egg. And it really attracted a lot of folks to go over to Activision, and they had some, you know, really great games. as a result of the talent. You know, very, very different kind of company today. We'll just leave it at that. Especially under their former CEO. It was very much not great, but he's gone now. We'll celebrate that. But there are a lot of platformers like Pitfall, and then like Pitfall 2, which I'll have to do one of these days. Pitfall 2 was really a oh, that was a really bad death. Pitfall 2 is very much a early platformer. And then unfortunately, I think the crash that kind of took out Atari from the console space and all that good stuff kind of happened before you could see a ton more platformers. But I think that's why this game got ported as much as it did. There's a version, I really want to try it at some point. There's a version for the old Sega console, like the SG-1000 or whatever it was called, where they actually added stuff to the game. They added more features, they added background music and that kind of stuff. I want to check that one out. Apparently the creator of this game, though, made a game recently that I don't know if it's supposed to be like a spiritual successor or what, but it's called Alien Abduction. And what a bonehead move. Alien Abduction came out, I think, for the Atari computer. Remember when they were trying to make that Atari computer happen? Well, I guess it still is happening for some people, but I don't think it sold a ton. The Atari VCS, I think it was made for that. And then I want to say I heard that it got put on a cartridge, because probably the Atari 2600 Plus or whatever it's called, it has been more successful, and the Atari 2600 Plus runs off the actual original cartridges. So they actually reprinted some homebrew cartridges. And so the spiritual successor to this, Alien Abduction, is that. So I want to try that at some point, because with as much as I played this game as a kid, I owe it to myself to at least try the sequel at some point. I'm not sure how I popped another achievement. I don't usually, like, achievements are nice, but they don't dictate how I'm going to play these games. Like I said, the only achievement I care about is the patch on my jacket. Wouldn't that be awesome if more companies today did that? Like, limited edition gear or something you could only get if you got like a certain score in a game or a trophy or something like that. Like, that's the kind of like the biggest bummer with like PlayStation trophies or Xbox achievements or whatever, is that there's not really a lot of way to show them off. But you know, you could record a YouTube or whatever, or, you know, streaming on whatever platform it is that you prefer. But there's not really a way to show off like those things. I remember when PlayStation Home was a thing. They were supposed to have like your virtual house, your virtual trophy cabinet. But PlayStation Home is no longer with us. So talk about regressive gameplay. Holy smokes. I may have to do something I'm not very good at doing and shut up for my next go round. See if I can get better score. All right, there we go. I got a little ahead of myself, didn't I? All right, I did better than the first playthrough, but definitely not as good as the second playthrough. So I said one more time, but I'm not happy with that last run. So let's try it again. Let's go. All right, this time I'm going to limit my speaking a little bit here to try to really focus, to try to improve my score. So I'll only speak at the end of boards. Okay. These first 5 boards are all like muscle memory. I mean, I guess most of this game is muscle memory. Some of you out there could probably get all the way through all 20 boards with muscle memory. All right, making progress. I keep forgetting you get an incentive for any dynamite you don't use. But it's way too much power to melt a wall. I'll show you that after this run through. Okay. Now we get to the slightly harder boards. Introduction to lava. Sometimes forced into a dark room. I think, though, those lanterns typically hang from the right side of a wall. So if there's like a big opening to go down to the next screen, I think it usually benefits to hug the left wall, but I'm not sure how long that works because I'm sure at some point they put enemies on the left side to mess with you. See, I had to do that because I had to turn around real fast. Yeah, see, those lanterns are always affixed to the right side. See, that was the thing I was trying to show off earlier, and then I got got by one of the enemies, was kind of floating over the pit by hitting up at the right time. All right. Here's as far as we got the first time. So you have to break a wall no matter what. And then, yeah. This board is rest in peace if you don't break the wall. Much better. Float, float. See, even though it's on the left passageway, it's still affixed to the right wall. Those lanterns probably can only be programmed one way or something. Something in the coding. The miracles people had to pull off with these old codes. It's wild to think that so many of these games were made by one person. Such talent. Okay, all right. Having to use up at just the right time. All right. Ooh, we got an extra life. Nice. All right, here we go. This is where I bit the dust last time. So I need to focus a little better. Okay. Tapping that up as I go into a new board. Just so I can get a reminder of what awaits me. Okay. Whew. All right, no life lost. Love that. Okay. Here we go. Oh yes, now they get fast. Those bugs still have an obvious pattern. Yep. I was like, no, you have to blast through the lava here. Yep. See that? That is nasty. Woo! I got it. Okay. Alright, that'll work. That'll work. Oop, that won't work. Don't fly up too fast. Okay, good. Okay, oh, this board got me last time. Okay, yep. Yep. Woohoo! I'm learning. Okay. Up. So right about halfway across is when you have to hit up. That's going to be really important in later boards. I know it. Okay. Yep. Can't go this way. Damn, first life lost. Okay, that's all right. Okay, you can't... Oh, yeah, this is the one where you have to go up and around. Okay. Up and around. I think part of what's helping... Try not to talk too much or I'll get myself killed, is that I'm learning a little bit more about the physics with each board. And it's helping me get a little better and navigate some of these trickier monster patterns. Boy, you really cut it close to power towards the end here. All right, it's a Rob record. Oh, I was like, do we go up and around? What's the deal on that board? Okay, we're still in it. Oh, hate that. Okay, at least it's going to drop us off right on the end. Okay. So those spiders are placed in a way where you really can't do what I just tried to do. Whew. Oh my goodness. All right. Okay, this is going to have to be an up and around, and the only way, there was a spider on the right side, so we have to go this way. I was like, does the light reset when you go into a new room? I didn't think it did. I feel like we want to go this way. I shouldn't be thinking, because that's causing time to tick away. Okay, there's more mobs this way, but... Aha! You have to go to the right. Okay, good. Time saver. Oh, man. That should not have been a death. That was... I should have known better. Okay. I was like, we have to get that guy at the bottom. Oh, y'all, I'm so close to my patch. I did it! I got my patch! I'm happy now. There's got to be somebody on Etsy or something who does like replica patches. I might have to look into that. I think that would be fun. I want like a leather jacket with achievement patches. I feel like you need, yeah. Oh no, not the sandwich walls. All right, let's see what happens here. Crunch, crunch. But I do like that once you lose a life to it, the sandwich stays open. That is kind of nice. I will say that. And I forgot what it looked like below. I think it was kind of, yeah, like teeth or something. Okay. Nice. Ooh. Light, delicate touch. Oh my gosh. All right, cool. Board 15. Here we go. Now I'm going to assume every time I fall down, there's one of those little sandwich things. That, I think, also was a fake out. Remember how I said you always have to blow up the rock to go? I should know better. I think that was the first board where that actually was not the case. Oh, yuck. So I have to go to the right. This is where you need to start making a map. Okay, so we have to go down the middle. Oh, I did it! Uh-oh. Oh, shit. I couldn't remember if that was a wall or what. But you know what? I'm happy. 75,000? Very happy. All right. Let me show you a couple other quick things here. So I said I would show the melting the rock and like that was an alternative. So let me just start up another game real quick to show you that. So yeah, sorry. The laser beam noise is not the nicest in the world. But do you see that? You can sacrifice a lot of power to melt down a wall. So that is a thing you can do. All right, I'm not going to do a complete other playthrough here, so let's just... Oh no, I'm so silly. I'm dynamiting myself to death. Actually, I should just be able to reset the game like that. Yep. Okay, I want to show you what like a really difficult board looks like. So let me see if I can actually use the difficulty switches, which I think was... Oh, maybe I don't remember how to do it. I thought that's how you did it. Hold on, let me figure this out here. Okay, I figured it out. Sorry, this whole thing is still new to me as I take a trip down memory lane. So we're going to use the game switch to switch it to... What happens is that if you go like... you'll notice it changes to a 4 on the bottom. That actually takes you all the way to board 13, which I think is actually right where I passed away on the last go-through. So that is, you know, something you can use to get ahead. But you can also use it to go all the way to 5. This is actually board 17... Even though I don't think the game says it is at this point. But this can show you what a much more like difficult kind of board actually looks like. I mean, I kind of think the boards we left off on were hard enough, but this will give you an idea just how bad it can get. Actually, so far, so good. We haven't had any of those sandwiches. Those are the worst. The little sandwich lavas. There. Spoke too soon. Spoke too soon. So we'll hover right above it. And as soon as it... collapses on my face. I think the last time I timed it, I tried to hover right above it, and right as it was collapsing, ooh, now we have like a water scorpion. That's new. Obviously, that bat has to go. Ooh, this raft. Man. Well, we ate up a ton of our lives to do it, but now I'm not sure if this ends up being board 18 because I think the boards start shuffling. I could be wrong though. I can't remember if they start shuffling or if you actually get to go all the way to board 20 or what happens here. Womp womp. I feel like this is an old board. I feel like this is like board 10 or one of the ones I came through earlier. Yeah, so I think in game 5 they actually shuffle. Because you'll notice there's no sandwich, there's no water scorpion. There's none of the stuff that you should have seen on the later boards. So halfway. If only I could pull it off like that every time. This feels like the board I just played. That's very interesting if the algorithm gave me like... I feel like this is board 17 again. Yep, here comes the sandwich. Well, that's it then. That's... Oh, well, that's fine. Like I said, I'm very pleased with my progress for crossing the 75,000 point threshold. If I really wanted to sit down and spend a lot more time with this, I probably could muscle memory my whole way to board 20, but I think getting the timing on those sandwiches, that's the thing I'd probably have to practice the most. But otherwise, I'm pretty proud of the progress I was making there board by board. So anyway, thanks so much for watching another trip down memory lane with a real classic of mine. And at some point, you know, later on in this project, you know, not tomorrow or next week, but I'll go back to the Commodore 64 version of this. It's really the same game, but the graphics are just like, they're way better, you know, for its time, and I'll have to play like the 7 other versions. It's on Apple II, the Sega. I'll have to play like the 7 other versions of this game that exists. So anyway, have a great one, everybody. Thanks for watching. See you next time.